Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second installment of Lincoln Center Originals Songwriters. My name is Jeff Blumenkranz, and I was very lucky to have been one of the songwriters to have been asked to write a song for Lincoln Center Original Songwriters Part 1, and I am doubly honored to have been asked by the co-producers and directors, Lonnie Price and Matt Cowart, to be your host tonight. I wanted to take a minute to talk about this incredible space for the benefit of the people who are not here but are watching online. We are in the David Rubenstein Atrium, which is a space that extends from Broadway to Columbus between 62nd and 63rd Street in New York City. And it's a space with incredibly high ceilings and a great feeling of openness where you can do things like buy discount tickets to Lincoln Center events, you can get Tom Colicchio food at Witchcraft, you can enjoy free Wi-Fi and bathrooms, and you can also come see free shows like this one here tonight. So, Lincoln Center Originals is a program spearheaded by Jed Bernstein, the president of Lincoln Center, and the notion behind it is to create work that reflects the Lincoln Center campus and to explore that work with the artists that created it. This series has already featured plays and dance pieces inspired by Lincoln Center, but tonight we celebrate songs. Lonnie and Matt have asked some of their favorite composers and lyricists of the theater to come up with songs, real or fictional, inspired by what goes on at Lincoln Center. And here we go. I left my next card at my chair, so I'll be right back. Our first writer tonight is Justin Levine. He is a composer-lyricist whose favorite writing projects include Bonfire Night, Tell Me Tomorrow, Jump Jim Crow, and Halfway Home. But you might have also caught him wearing some other hats, namely music director, orchestrator, and/or actor for Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson, both on and off Broadway, as well as Murder Ballad at Manhattan Theater Club, Here Lies Love at the Public, and Love's Labor's Lost at Shakespeare in the Park. And here he is to sing Meet Me in the Square.
Hello. The Manhattan Indians, they welcomed Verrazano with a smile. An Italian sent by France to see if buying was worthwhile. Then the Dutch came in and mapped it out and said it's worth a dram. Paid $20, called it New Amsterdam. And as the years went by, this town became the glory of this land. And its power moved from king to boss, to mayor, banker, hand to hand. They say this town ain't big enough for little guys like me. The things that make this city what it is ain't even close to free. So New York ain't what it used to be, at least that's what they say. Everybody keeps on telling me the best of times were yesterday. But all this speculation and the way they say it was don't mean a thing to me, and that's all because I may not have a nickel or a dime, but still I know how to show you a good time. You and me can make ridiculous sublime if you just meet me in the square. Just find a spot to lay a blanket down, and then we got the greatest show in town. Whether it's Turandot or that sad Italian clown, you just come meet me in the square. Someday, maybe we could go inside and listen to the music from a seat. Never been guilty of having too much pride, so for me, I'll just be happy listening on the street. I can hear it now. sits to dine on big ceramic plates. An hour in line, then a snooty waiter waits. As long as we can just listen to the greats, then it's a date. Then it's a date at Lincoln Square. Then it's a date at Lincoln Square. So the Brits came in and liked this town and named it for a duke. Was it planned how fast it all expanded? Was it just a fluke? But we are here, and what is clear, that's always gonna be this open square, this flowing fountain, watching Moses top the mountain. Verdi, Mozart, Bach, Puccini, Audra, Patti, Toscanini. Culture cost an arm and leg, but there's no need to scrape and beg so long as you just meet me in the square. Thank you.
That was great. Okay, so in September, you get a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, would you write a song inspired by Lincoln Center? What happened next?
What happened next was I actually originally, the first thought I had, because I didn't even know that the fictionalization option was there. So I just started thinking of, I grew up on Long Island and came, to see shows at Lincoln Center ever since I was a little kid. And so I started to think, which experience, was I going to write about? And I actually thought of this time when I went to see Tosca. It was the Zeffirelli production, and it's that incredible moment when the curtain comes up and you see this set that's the fiberglass, and it looks so real. You're in this cathedral, and the whole audience gasped. I'd never heard someone gasp at design before, at the top of a show. So I was thinking about that, and when I went to see it, I was lucky enough, for reasons that I won't bore anybody with, but I got to sit in that presidential box, that central box, right, the fancy box. And so next to me was Cardinal Egan was sitting in the box right next to me, and so we were sharing an armrest, and we had this sort of awkward thing where we were fighting, and this whole thing was happening, and then finally we made peace because he didn't know how to use the translator, the subtitle thing, because you have to wait a second because there's a system that has to load and all this stuff, and so I just sort of gently said, it's all right, showed him. So I didn't write that song. I tried, and I just thought, well, I don't really know. There's a story there, but is there a song there? And then I thought about when my girlfriend and I, we went to see Aida in the square. They were doing the broadcast. And I was just thinking about, we sat on the floor because we got there late, so we didn't have any space, but we just sat there and, ate sandwiches from a bag. And I just thought, this is like one of the coolest things you can do in New York, and it doesn't cost a penny. And so that's where it came from.
Yeah, it was the perfect song to start this event, because here we are free and enjoying incredible talent
Absolutely.
like yours. So
Absolutely.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.